What's going on, lads? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at the best way that you can farm element in Arc Genesis Part 2. So there's 4 really good ways of mining element shards in element, but before we get into that, please don't forget to subscribe to see all of our upcoming videos. So in case you don't know, you can find the element shard rocks down the center of the map along the 50 longitudinal line, and here's what they look like. It's very easy to see them, and honestly there's a ton of them. Now these element rocks aren't going to be here all the time, these only spawn on certain days. So if you come into this biome and these rocks aren't here, all you have to do is wait till 1:30 in the morning on the next in-game day and come check again, and you're simply just going to have to keep repeating that process until these are spawned in. So there are 4 ways we can mine these. The first 3 methods are for early and mid game. The last method is definitely going to be closer to the late game. So starting with the least efficient is simply using a pickaxe, and you'll slowly get element shards, plenty of stone, and every once in a while you get element. And this is on standard rates, by the way. So this is what we got from using a pickaxe on 3 element rocks. It's about 270 element shards, 6 element, which honestly that's a little higher than normal. You probably get closer to like 4, and a ton of stone. And that's going to be the issue if you're farming here. You're always going to be dropping stone. But we actually have a way around that once we start using the Stryder that we'll get to later. All right, so the next way is to use the mining drill, and I mean this is just going to be like using the pickaxe, but a lot faster and a lot more efficient. So this here is the resources from using the mining drill on, it is probably about 8 rocks. And you can see we got a ton more stone, ton more element shards, but only 1 element. So obviously if you're trying to get straight element, the pickaxe is going to be a lot better, even though you're getting a lot more shards. I mean the element shards, you're going to be turning those into element in the replicator anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. And it is a lot faster. It probably took about the same amount of time to mine the 8 rocks with the mining drill as it did the 3 rocks with the pickaxe. Alright, so we've emptied our inventory, and the next method is to literally just punch the element rocks with the gauntlets. And if you're farming without a dino, this is actually the best way to get element. So from that, we were able to get literally 30 element, which is freaking insane, plus 1,000 element shards and the useless stone. But 30 element, that's incredible from literally not needing anything. I mean, you spawn into the game with a suit. And that's the third of what you need to build your first replicator, and that took like a minute. Alright, so the last method that I want to talk about is with the Stryder. This one has the excavation and the resource attractor. The resource attractor by itself doesn't actually matter. The reason we're using this setup is actually for the storage pouches on the side, which will come into handy when we're coming into issues of it becoming overburdened, which will happen very quickly. So, I mean, just like any other mining with this thing, we're just gonna use the excavation rig and get insane amounts of element shards. So just from that, oh gosh, let's drop all that stone. Oh yeah, we got some batteries in there too. So some metal, cool, but also 12 element, that's fine, but this is where you're gonna make up for that. You get tons and tons. You get so many element shards from using this thing, and it's so quick too because you're hitting so many rocks at one time. So the tech starters have 2 benefits that they have, especially with this thing here, the storage packs. Your inventory weight is going to be reduced by 60%, but this one can also link with dedicated storage here. So I have a couple set up just for different things. So if you want to set up an item to automatically go into these dedicated storages, which if you're on a PvP server, that's going to be a bit of an issue. You're going to have to set it up each time and then just destroy it or whatever you're going to do. But all you do is you come down here to basically the very bottom, dedicated storage item transfer, bottom again, link to nearby dedicated storage, and then whatever one you want to link to. So this one's going to be stone because that's going to be the most weight, and then that's going to automatically put all of that item in there. Let's go ahead and do that again for the metal. Change, you can also disable, unlink. So let's do metal, automatically put it all in there. And now all that stuff is out of his inventory. All you have left is the element and the element shards. Now when I was testing this earlier, I put all the points I could into melee damage to see if it would increase the amount of damage it does, the amount of resources it gets. And I mean, I literally put every single point that I could into melee, and I didn't really see any difference, so I would not suggest that. I would suggest putting it into like either your charge or your weight capacity. Probably weight capacity is going to be better. Yeah, it's really as simple as that. You just need to get a Stryder that has the excavation drill and then the storage in the middle, which is always going to be, that's from the resource attractor. That's what gives you the storage packs. And if you don't have a Stryder, that's fine. All you have to do is literally just punch the rocks with your glove, and you'll get enough element to at least get yourself started, get yourself a replicator, and start building that late game stuff. Also, if you're using the gloves, let me show you down here. If you're using the gloves and the rocks are close enough, it's a AoE attack, so like it'll hit multiple rocks at one time. See, I just destroyed both of them. So if you can focus on like groupings like that are close together, that'll be more efficient farming for you. All right, so I went ahead and set up a replicator just so we can look at how we turn this into element, which, I mean, it's super simple. So there's 14 in here already, just generating the power. Go to element, and it costs 100 element shards to make a single element. And you can queue up to 100 at a time, just like most other things. So yeah, Stryder is absolutely going to be your best late game element farmer by a wide margin. There's literally nothing that's going to compare to that. But until you have a Stryder with that setup, you're going to be limited essentially to punching the rocks. Because I mean, I tried like the Anki and all that, and it's not as good. Punching the rocks is just so much better. You get so much more. Or I mean, you could go with the mining drill. This thing definitely works too. It's just mostly element shards, and then you convert to element. But I mean, it's not a big deal. It doesn't take long to convert it. All right, lads, thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video and you found it helpful. If you did, please consider subscribing to see all of our upcoming videos, and I will see you in the next one.